What's happening? Robb Vision once again coming at you live on that Rubber Highway to Freedom Odin's Day edition number 2. Hey, before we get started, I got to ask you a few favors. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Do it all. It really helps out the channel when you do. And if you're interested in Robb Vision merchandise, there will be a link to my official merch store in the description box below. You can follow that link and get yourself a cool retro video game style t-shirt with a pixelated image of my face on it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hey, I'm Rob, and welcome back to Robb Vision. Get out of your own way. Don't be your own barrier. What does it mean? Let's talk about it. So in my last video, I told you some spooky stories from the road, and that got me thinking about my early days as a musician and how early on I wasn't really very good at all. And I had a lot of people around me who were at a higher level of skill, like telling me, like, hey, your guitar tone sucks. We really can't hear what you're playing, or that style of music that you're trying to create, you're never really going to be commercially successful with that, or don't put a curse word in your album title because it won't sell as well. All kinds of criticism. Some of them, I think maybe they just didn't understand the ethos of the band early on, which was like rebellion against the song structure, for lack of better words. But some of the criticism about my musicianship was definitely valid, so I took it to heart. And I started to practice a lot. I realized there's a saying, you get to Carnegie Hall through practice, practice, practice. I applied that saying. I started to put every single hour of the day that I could into practicing my guitar. I even took it to the bathroom with me. I got all kinds of books on scales and modes and chords, and I crammed as many of those into my brain as I could, and I started to try to use them. And then eventually we got to a point where we were starting to play these higher profile festivals, and one of those higher profile festivals had like a magazine associated with it, and our band was featured on the cover. And that was kind of like a turning point. A lot of people in my circle started to look at me a little bit differently. I was almost the musician that they were starting to look up to at that point. So if I had listened to if I had let the early criticism beat me down, I never would have had any of those experiences. But what I did was I felt like it was an adversity that I had to rise up above. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't that they were more talented than me per se. It was that they had a higher level of skill than me. Maybe it came easier to them. I don't know. But I worked really hard at it, and I honed my skill. Skill is forged in the crucible of life. And you have to, like a blacksmith, forges steel on his anvil. Every day you've got to get out there over the fire, and whatever it is that you're trying to work at, you've just got to beat at it and beat at it and beat at it, and eventually that raw piece of steel is going to be something that can pierce the heart of life the way that you want it to. You can't tell yourself no. You can't tell yourself that you can't do something. You can't get in your own way or be your own barrier. A lot of people, like when I talk about music, they say, oh, I wish I could play. And I tell them all the same thing. Like, look, music is a hearing art, and we all have ears. So, only very few of us are born with perfect pitch. The rest of us, we need to train our ears, and the way that you do that is by working hard at it. So whatever it is that you're trying to work hard, whatever it is that you're trying to be in life, when you come up against a roadblock or a barrier, realize the only barrier that you could possibly come up against is the barrier that you put against yourself. So when you hit those barriers, realize that that's the moment where you're actually making the most progress, and that's the moment where you need to dig in and keep working, because that's when you feel the most resistance, like when you're working out. The more resistance, the more likely you are to stimulate growth. It's the same with any skill that you're trying to acquire. The more resistance that you feel, the more likely you are to stimulate growth in that skill. So that's when you need to keep at it. Sometimes maybe it's better to put it down for a second. You're getting frustrated. Then that's maybe a case where you should put something down and just go do something else for 15 minutes. And then maybe you come back and you'll find that you have a fresh perspective. But for the most part, when you feel that resistance, that's when you need to push the hardest. Just get out of your own way. Stop telling yourself you can't do something. You've been given the greatest gift in life, and that's your brain. You have to use it. You have to apply what you have been given, which is intelligence. You don't have to be like a genius, but we all have intelligence. That's what separates human beings from the animals, is our intelligence. And you have to apply it. And when you apply that intelligence, you'll find there's nothing that you can't do. Nothing can hold you back when you apply yourself. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got something out of it, and we'll catch you in the next one. Hey, I'm Rob, and once again, this has been Robb Vision. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd like to encourage you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I do not recommend that you smash the notification button because you'll probably break your phone if you do. So just hit it like a normal person, and then you'll always get notifications when I upload a new video. And once again, thanks so much for watching.